Hi guys, it's Granny Tana speaking. Welcome to this FS25 news video. As we have Gamescom at the moment, we'll get a lot of information in a short time about the upcoming FS25. This video is all about the weather change, twisters and hail, so tornadoes. And yes, we already got this trailer video yesterday, but now we got a blog entry and they tell us quite a nice story about what happened in Riverbend Springs when the weather is changing and we get a tornado and hail. And we got also more screenshots which are very nice and interesting. And I will first read you this blog article, say something about it, and then we'll have a closer look at the screenshots in an enlarged version. Okay, let's start. Weather change, a twisters and hail with a change of fog. Preview. So somehow they call the tornadoes twister. Maybe the Giants developers has seen the movie Twister, which is all about tornado hunters, and therefore they call it twisters. I like it, but somehow maybe not everybody understands it because this movie is already quite old. Okay, let's go on. In Riverbend Springs and multiple other locations around the world, the weather is predicted to change more often. As we look at darkening clouds in the sky, listening to the wind, the farmers closing in, one can notice clear signs that some weather is on the way. An August summer night, local farmers and residents are encouraged to take general precautions. But first, learn more in the following weather report and don't forget to pre-order Farming Simulator 25 coming November the 12th. And you could order it through my partner link in the description below this video if you are a PC player. And that would make me very happy. So let's go on. Twisters in the air, farmers feel it everywhere. So they are a little bit poetic this time. On a glory night, where the children of tomorrow dream away, farmers might notice the winds changing. We are expecting a light twister to touch down in a few areas. It shouldn't be anything too severe, but it's always wise to take precautions and secure any unroofed bales just in case. Don't worry, we will see these images later in a bigger view. Then, hail is coming down, bales are closing in. Some hail is also predicted to hit. The good news is, after these brief disturbances, the skies will clear up and we'll see the sun shining brightly once again. This weather event will pass and we'll be back to calm and sunny conditions before you know it. Yeah, I hope so. Watch the crops, the trees and the bales. Once the storm passes, local farmers are advised to inspect their fields for any destruction and assess the impact on their crops. While twister fans may observe the weather spectacle from a safe distance, farmers cannot afford to be careless as all weather events bear the potential to destroy a portion of crops. And you see the school buses? Maybe it comes back again. Let's just wait a second. Here. The school bus is coming now. There it is again. In Riverbend Springs, we caught up with newfound farmer David, 36. When all the other farmers were running around doing stuff to prepare, I did not think very much of it. I'm pretty new to all this, you know. Having learned his lesson, the former white-collar worker lost about half of his crops on a rather tiny plot and all of his bales left out in the open. Even my shed got damaged, he added, looking rather sad while proclaiming that Mother Nature added insult to injury. Relative to way bigger field sizes, other farmers got off lightly in comparison. So what we learn of this is the sheds are getting damaged as well. So what we don't know yet is whether all buildings can suffer from damage through tornadoes, or only some special buildings that are built especially to be damageable. And what we also don't know, how it is for modders, whether we should build a nice and beauty version and another version that is a little bit destroyed for future buildings. I hope we will learn soon that we can prepare for this. Yeah, and you should bring all your bales under a roof that they don't get destroyed, which is important. And what I also learned, not through this article, but through something, I think an interview, and I read it somewhere, you can turn off all the tornadoes and hails, or you could keep them but turn off the crop destruction that is made by this. So you have somehow 2 steps to switch it off, which I find very good. Meanwhile, the local lumberjack and forester of Riverbend Springs was not available for comment while tending to dead trees that were affected by the storm. Some of us carry out essential duties. I must insist you grant me solitude while I tend to my fallen companions, he said in a grumpy tone, before adding, I observed your cameraman indulging in refreshments. I strongly suggest you refrain from littering in the forest as you depart. Watch the sunrise for peace of mind. Instead, we got hold of retired farmer Walter, who shared his perspective on the recent weather changes. Good weather always follows bad weather sooner or later, says the 72-year-old farmer, reflecting on the shifting conditions. Don't know where all that thick fog suddenly comes from, though. Probably brought in with the wind of change. So they make fun of their own fog, which is everywhere. I like it that they treat it in a funny way. And then, when asked if he had any more farming wisdom to impart about the weather, Walter had a classic reply. Let's take a rain check. We'll be revisiting Riverbend Springs in November to see how the weather has impacted the local farming community. Maybe you want to visit yourself and ask the locals some questions. Okay, what we do now is having a look at the additional screenshots in full size. And yeah, this just looks stunning. And it looks a little bit foreboding, like the bad weather is coming to come. Not winter is coming, but tornado is coming. It also looks like that when the thunderstorm is coming or a hailstorm. In reality, I mean. This yellowish tone, I think they got it very good. And here it has already passed, I think, because the trees are already broken. And what I thought about this is, usually in such a situation the top of the trees would lay around, or they would partly be still connected with broken tree stumps, so they would fall diagonal to the ground, so the top is at the ground and then they go up and be still connected. So it would look much more chaotic in reality, but maybe that is too complicated to make for the gameplay, and therefore they just break the stumps and the top of the trees, they vanish in thin air. Or maybe they are taken by the tornado? I don't think so, but we could imagine this. And here, look how beautiful this looks. It's a little bit nerve-wracking, I would say, because I don't know yet whether this is before or after the thunderstorm, tornado, hailstorm event, but it looks like not good weather in the air, but it looks beautiful, completely beautiful. And here we see a shed, and some planks are missing. Maybe this is one of those partly destroyed sheds. For this, I would say yes, it could be. And I'm really interested how this will turn out in the game and what that means for us modders. And here it's, yeah, it looks like evening, but when you see the blue of the sky, it is not evening. It's in the middle of the day, but very dark. And I think it's hail on the road, those little white dots. And a very nice big tractor. And here it's coming, the terrible tornado. And here it's going, because we see the field already partly destroyed. And if they really make it like that, there is only the part destroyed where the tornado has gone through, then it's really, when it hits a small field, a big part of the small field is destroyed, and when it hits a bigger part, it only hits a small part of the field, because the size of the tornado is maybe always the same, and therefore it's not a percentage of the field, but a certain amount of meters that are affected by the tornado. But I think for hail it would be different, because hail is more in a wide range and not so specific on one route. We will see. And here, yeah, the big tornado. And this is something different, and I really like this image, because we see the ferry working the first time, I think, and we see a very nice truck on it. But I wonder whether the ferry should work in this weather conditions. But maybe it's just rain and not considered as a weather catastrophe with hail. I don't see hail in this image, and I don't see a tornado. So maybe the ferry is working. And I like it that we can see how the ferry works. Okay, we don't see it moving, but at least we have an image now. And I'm looking forward to this ferry a lot. Yeah, and here we saw a similar image already a few days ago in an announcement about weather effects. Yeah, and what you can also see is they are so something like holes where the tractor has been. So we see this ground deformation in action a little bit. And here even more, you see that the ground is deeper where the tractor has been. And the information we got is that when it's wet, so when it's raining or such, then the ground deformation is stronger than in drier conditions, which I find very interesting, and it is like in real life. Yeah, and here, oh, this is again the tornado, and you can see all those particles, those pieces. And in real life, when a tornado is coming, it picks up all the stuff from the ground or from the houses and then takes them with him. But that's not the case in the game, so you can't see, oh, it took this piece of the roof and now it's flying through the air. Those are just particles that come with the tornado, because it's simulated. Yeah, and I wonder whether something will happen to the houses that are here or not. I really wonder how they make this destroying of the houses. I really wonder. And here we see the broken trees and a nice case tractor. And now it seems like it's peaceful again, but still yellowish, so it could even be before the weather catastrophe, but maybe also afterwards. And here we clearly can see hail, and we see a little bit of crop destruction. And maybe this is due to the hail. In reality, it wouldn't look like that, but somehow they have to make it work in the game. Yeah, and we have a nice tractor here with one of those Rudolph trailers. I think, are they called Rudolph? I guess yes. And that we also have in FS25. And it's still hail, I guess, not snow. Somehow this could be snow if it would be in winter, but they want to show off the hail, and therefore I think it's hail. Oh, and that's it already. So, yeah, I for myself, I am quite impressed about those weather-related effects that we get, but I think a lot of you guys have thought something more like when there is a drought, the crops won't grow as good, and we have to give them water and so. But yeah, I think it's normal that when giants start to work on an area in the game, like weather, then they start with some aspects, and then in the next game there will be more aspects about this, and therefore I'm looking forward to that we will get more weather-related things in the future. And for this game, maybe it's all that we get that has to do with weather. But yeah, I think I for myself would be happy with it. And yeah, maybe after the tornado has destroyed my harvest several times, I think I will switch it off We will see. I also switch off the weeds mostly, but sometimes I play with it. So I find it very interesting and fascinating, and yeah, but I can imagine to switch it off. Did I tell you that it will be possible to switch it off? So this is confirmed. We can either switch off all those weather effects, or we can have them but only for decorative reasons and have them without crop destruction. I think I said it already, but I think it's important because a lot of people want to know whether it's possible to switch it off, and it is. And I think then they can do everything they can at hurricanes and floods and so on, if it's possible to switch it off. Okay, I wish you a wonderful day. Thank you for watching and all the best. Till next time. Tschüss.